Good morning, everyone. I've got Kael on the line, although I muted him right now because he's activating his stream. Um, unless of course you want to talk, then I'll unmute you. But we're sort of getting everything set up to go, and then we'll begin our PHP Laravel and Vue adventure for the day. All right, then you're live here too.
Awesome. There we go. Sweet, you got a live share?
Yeah, I'll get the live share going, and I want to. Okay. Simple Hacker, good morning. It's going well. It's a good Sunday. How are you doing? Right, live share. Get a link going. And I'm sharing this in Slack.
Sick. Got it. Here we are. Alrighty.
Kael has joined the
First
session.
try. First try.
Does it not usually work on a first try?
I don't know. I remember it not working first try. I don't know. I remember it being an issue once, but it's just nice when it works.
All right, Simple Hacker. Well, thanks for saying good morning to us. We certainly welcome all of our lurkers, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask here, or you could also tweet or leave comments and videos or whatever.
Awesome.
Ooh, I don't remember these symbols. That's pretty cool. All right, so let us sort of like remember what we did last time.
Ooh,
maybe we should activate the app.
Yeah, I think we made our migrations or something. I remember something with migrations.
Here, I've given you a terminal.
Awesome. Hang on, what was it?
I screwed you over because I minimized my VS code window.
Oh, oopsies. What was it? Was it just start? I don't even remember it. Let's see. Did we skip a week or something? Why am I so rusty right now?
We did not skip a week, but I mean, you did say you were feeling a little bit under the weather today, so.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah, okay, so now we can, in our browsers, go to localhost 8000.
Oh, yeah. And we seeded it.
Right. So we have a whole bunch of users in our database now.
Awesome. Hello, world streamers. Elmer Daniel.
And so, for example, we can go and take a look at the streamer schedule for each of these. We are not currently storing any of this in the database.
Okay.
What we've done is we've sort of like designed what this is going to be and like figured out the data that we need. Right. And so last time we had sort of started working on seeding and migrations and other things and looking at what we need for users. I realized that it might be a little bit easier and better for us if we create the form to actually submit a link,
Okay.
which also means that we need our login. We need to like do our authentication stuff.
Okay. So
So
from using Vue instead of
yeah, so right now I believe if we go to localhost slash
home, is it?
home, yeah, we get this like completely unstyled Laravel login page, and it's unstyled because we completely deleted all the CSS files.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. It's perfect. I mean, this is ready to just go ahead and ship, right?
as long as the inputs are sanitized, it looks good to me.
Yeah, it's fine. This is great. So I'm thinking that we remake this in Vue, and I don't think we need a link to this page. Although I don't know. I guess on the main page, if we're expecting other people to be able to like log in and create accounts on our, we should like actually just make the landing page look the way we want it to.
Right. Right.
So let's do that, and then we'll slowly work uh, towards what we need.
Okay. Awesome.
So, do you have any ideas of how we might want this to look?
To look, I mean, I would make the text bigger, use a sans serif font, and then more color. That's all I can think of.
More color. Well, I mean, there's nothing right now, so that's yeah. I think more of a lot of things. I'm sort of envisioning a pretty standard like template for this. I'm thinking I'm thinking maybe like a top menu bar, and we could just say like a stream um like stream schedule pages
Mhm.
as the name, like the name of the app, and then on the right it'll be our menu, so we could have um are you a streamer, create account, login,
Okay.
and those could link to our login pages.
Awesome. Sounds like a deal. Sounds sounds
Yeah,
cool. I mean,
so
I don't
I
know how
think
CSS-y I can
I
get,
think
but
that would be good, and also since we wanted a lighter day today, that will be perfect. We'll just stay in the front end.
okay, great.
All right, where do we start?
Let's see. So we wanna add that. We wanna go to um where was this? Was it public? I always get tripped up on public, I feel like. um routes, not routes. Where was this? App? No. Providers? No.
Well, so what do you want? Like, what's your goal?
I would like our view, our view files again.
Ah, okay. So our view files, there are in resources, JS, components.
Oh my goodness, that's so far.
But what you can do if you're ever lost is do you're on Windows, right? Control
Right.
P, and then just
Yes.
type in
Control
like
P.
dot view.
Okay. That should
All of
show
the
me all
view
the
components will be
documents.
displayed there then.
Awesome. Okay, gotcha. Um, okay. So I don't remember doing this. I do remember doing this. I'm in landing component right now. Wait. Wait, I don't think I did this. Did you do this?
We did this together. This is like the list of names that are links to the individual streamer pages.
Huh. What? I don't know why I'm like I don't remember that. I
I
certainly don't remember the comments either, but
I think it was the like the second day.
Huh. Okay.
All right. So what I'm thinking is like we have this like landing component. I'm actually thinking that maybe what we really want is like a nav component, like a header,
Okay.
because we don't.
So create a new component then?
Yeah. Because our sort of nav heading component, that's going to be visible on all the pages, not just the landing one here.
Nav component. I agree. We can use some code reuse. And if I just get the boilerplate going, there we go. And then you need the script tags.
So technically, we don't really need the script tags if we're not using JavaScript with it.
Ah, okay.
Um,
I'll get rid of it until we need it.
yeah. So we could just start with like a super simple template and then just go from there.
I'd say this is as simple as it gets.
Yeah, pretty much. I would probably put like a hello world in there or something.
This is the nav.
Yeah,
There
this
we
could
go.
be good.
Do you mind saving that? It's not saving on my end.
Nope. Now, I wonder if it's not saving because I was focused on the browser and not on VS Code.
Because it saves every once in a while. Like I can do a save. And
Exactly.
then it's like, nope.
Yeah. So live share is good. There's some weird quirks that we have to learn still. So we need to figure out where to place this.
Okay. Ooh. Did we do... Okay, hang on. Okay, definitely not there. Let's see. Components. Where was our... Is it in public?
Well, let's
No.
take a look. So it's gonna be in our views.
Okay. Views off. Okay, we've got a home and a landing. .blade.php. I'd say somewhere here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be our landing because this is where we're sort of setting up the app.
Okay, great. So this is where we'd place. We would first register it, and then we'd. Okay, so how did we register it again? We used the import.
We were on the page for it. It was app.js.
App.js, yeah. Okay, so if we go ahead and import it, nav component from components nav component dot view. Oopsies. There you go. And then we use one of these things, and we'll say nav component. And we'll say there. Oh, oopsies.
I would almost rename this just like nav or top nav.
Okay. This is probably like taken, right? Just NAV.
Yeah, that's like a native HTML5, so top nav is probably better.
There we go. So now,
yeah,
and I was able to save that time.
I'm pretty sure that if I'm focused on VS Code, you can save then. All right, let's go add this nav component in to the blade file.
So can I just kind of go like that? Could I use like a self-closing?
Well, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Oh wait, we need to also start up another.
Right. Okay, I will. Terminal 2 has been shared with you.
Sweet. Okay, so this was a npm. So npm run watch. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
yes. Okay. First try. And let's see. This is the nav with nothing else.
Yeah, that's really interesting because we didn't remove any of that other stuff, did we?
Mm-mm.
Let's try not making that a self-closing tag.
Top van. Okay. Oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay. Try now, and it works that time. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind is apparently Vue is not happy if you don't like just fully close the tag. So no self-closing tags.
Bummer. Whatever. I'll get over it.
I don't think it's that bad.
Nah. I mean, like, what if we had to make the router view self-closing too?
Well, oh, you mean like what if? Yeah. Well, I mean, let's explain. Let's experiment. Let's try it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this and then comment it out, just because I don't seem to be the fastest typist right now. So if we go something like this, oops, there we go. What if both of them are self-closing? Nope, still broke. So it didn't work. But that's fine. We can just close them ourselves, you know. I mean, it's 2019, but like, you know.
I do like where your head's at though, because that's like one of the best ways to learn is just sort of experiment and break things.
I like breaking things. I'm pretty good at it. Lovely.
All right. Well, now that we have top nav, let's actually create that top, the nav bar.
Okay, so I think, should we use the grid or should we you know, I'll mark it up in HTML and then we'll figure out the CSS afterward.
All right, sounds good. I don't think this is going to be that complex.
Okay. So I am going to do a section because I like the semantics of having section there. So we want the header and then we want to be like, hey, you want to log in?
Yeah. So we can create the
Okay.
header first.
And then streamer schedule. There we go. Something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Or plural schedules. And then so this is where it gets difficult to foresee. How exactly should we have this?
Well, let's go ahead and just program it, because if we like try to think ahead too much and like predict what we want to do, then we can run into that entire analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. Hey. Okay. I'll just like see what I can do then. Probably want some sort of /login href or something. I don't think this is how you do a link, but I don't really remember. Login. Or if you're already logged in, then we should just be like, oh, put your name here. But I don't really remember how to do that.
Let's not worry about that right this second.
Okay. But yeah. What else would we need in that header?
Create account link.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure we used, well, I don't know what the endpoint is, but I'll just call it register.
Well, so these are going to be view pages. We're probably going to have like separate forms.
Right. Okay. What does that look like so far?
It looks terrible.
Yep.
But that's only because it's unstyled.
So register is the correct endpoint on the I mean, it's not a route necessarily, but it is the blade.
I
It's the
mean, so
PHP side.
it is the correct route on Blade, but we're not going to care about that because we have front end routing.
We got all fancy with our Vue.
Yeah, so our what's going to happen is our Vue router is going to take over and handle this for us.
Okay, great. It's just right now it's not finding it, so it's going back to the blade.
Right. Now, something I like is to namespace our routes. So we have like login and register here. What if we
Mhm.
rename them as like slash accounts login slash accounts create?
Okay. So, oh wait, I probably need to go like that. There we go.
Yeah. So it'll make it a little bit easier for us later as we're sort of like developing this because now those other routes are available to us.
Awesome. Okay. So, shall we go ahead and populate those, or just keep working on the
We could let's make this actually look right.
Okay, great. How did we style these?
We can create a style right inside the same file.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. And we want it like let's see. So we go like this. We go like this.
Yeah. So do you remember what the scoped does?
It isolates it, right? It's like only use this style here and don't worry about the context of it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So all the styles will only affect these sections, this section.
Sweet. Okay. So obviously we want everything in a row, pretty much. So like if we do like we go like this, display inline, then shouldn't everything be on the same row? Yeah, okay.
I mean, yes, that is correct. Everything will be in the same row, but you're gonna run into problems spacing these out unless you want them right next to each other.
I don't.
Where do you want the login and create account?
um, I don't really know exactly. I feel like login and create accounts should be near each other, but over on the right.
Okay. So you mentioned
So
you mentioned grid before. Do you want to use that, or do you want to use something else?
let's use flexbox. Let's try
Flexbox.
flex.
All right.
Okay.
What do your how familiar are you with Flexbox?
We'll figure that out because I feel like I don't know it as well as I think I do, but I feel like I do know it. Enough to just make it okay.
Well,
I
since you
don't
know
really
it, go
remember.
ahead, take the wheel.
Okay, I'm gonna need some MDN right quick. Display flex.
Katali, hello. Good morning.
Here we go. Okay. So we want no wrap. Just gonna put this one in here. Flex wrap, no wrap. No wrap. Ain't no wrap in here. Okay. Um and let's do justify content. We'll say space around. Let's try it. And then see where that gets us. Content space around. Okay, what does that give us?
I mean, it's
Yes.
very interesting.
Yeah. um I mean, I'm proud.
I
Let's
mean,
see.
so this is the power of Flexbox, and this is the reason why I really like to use it in web applications. Is with a very small amount of highly readable CSS, you can uh, change the display and like position elements really, really quickly and easily.
Right. I agree.
That being said, I don't think this is quite what you want.
Yeah, it isn't. I guess something we could do is like this is what I would do. Just to get it more like what we were talking about. I'd wrap this in a div. And then maybe I'd give this a class.
Well, did you try see what that did?
Well, shouldn't it? Let's see. Yeah, let me make sure this is actually not messing things up. Okay, yeah. So I mean, that looks fine, I guess.
It looks fine. Is there something else you'd like it to look differently?
No, actually, it did pretty well. I mean, I was expecting the alignment to be a little bit different, but it looks fine for now.
Like more
I don't
towards the
know.
edges?
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit more towards the S's, if that's the look we're going for.
Let's change that justify content because you have space around. And what that means is like space around the left and right. Like space around each of the elements. So there's another one.
It's that one. Yay. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to have them like, do you want them at the very, very edges of the screen or do you want like a little bit in?
I would, yeah, I'd like some padding. It's
and
like
Katali is also suggesting a little bit of margin top, so it's not like at the exact top.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Remember that the reason why our H1 looks terrible is because we put a CSS reset in.
Reset, yeah. Sweet. So yeah, is there a nice way to do that with I guess we just go for like padding.
So we could do padding or we could just do a margin left right.
Well, we also want top, right?
Yeah,
top.
I mean so it will get a little bit interesting depending upon if we have any background color. But let's go ahead and do this.
Okay, so shouldn't that be everything but the bottom?
Yeah, that should be
10 pixels, everything but the bottom. Hey, okay.
It's coming together.
Not so bad.
Do you like background colors on your top menu bars?
I do.
All right. What's your favorite background color to use?
White. I'm joking. Let's just go with like some sort of just something that doesn't hurt.
Something that doesn't hurt.
Let's go for a very like mild color. Something almost like pastel, if you know what I'm saying.
A pastel.
I feel like those are easy to make look good. Like this kind of blue. Here we go. I got a blue for you. Oh, oopsies. I think one of our doggos just vomited.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, so simple hacker, I think you've got that right. Is because we're using the margin, notice the background color and like what happened.
Right. Okay. So if we wanted everything like that entire like 10 pixels all around, then we'd make this padding, right?
Yeah, so how much do you know about the box model?
I mean, I see it, but not too much.
Oh, okay, this is great. Let's go. So unfortunately, I can't really share this with you, but if on your side, open up your browser, DevTools, go to Elements.
Yes. Hang on. Okay.
And you should be able to see, like, at the bottom of styles. Okay, it depends upon if you're in Firefox or Chrome.
Yeah, I'm in Firefox, but I see the box model, like margin, border, padding.
Yes. Okay. So margin is outside of the background, and I, depending upon how they sort of like do it, you might be able to see that the margin sort of like grayed out. I think that's because they're trying to indicate to you that the background does not affect it.
Okay.
The margin is outside of the background,
Okay.
but
So
padding is
it
inside.
is. So do we want to do padding then, I guess?
Yeah. So let's switch that margin to padding. And also Katali had a suggestion of using a rem for this instead of pixels.
Okay. What would that give us?
Do you know rems? Do you know what those are?
I know M's, but I don't really know the difference between
Oh,
R
so
and
think of
rem.
rems as the same thing as m's, except they're root m's.
Okay.
So ems are relative. Is that right, or is the other way around relative? I may have just like sort of gotten it backwards. It might be relative m's and not root m's.
Why do they call it M's in the first place?
Oh, that's a fun, interesting like historical thing. Um, okay, yeah, Katali, thank you. Rem is actually relative m, not root m. Okay, so uh, I think this comes from print, but the widest letter in the alphabet is the M,
Oh,
or at least in American, American English. And
it's the same
so,
EM as an EM dash, like an M
um,
dash or an N dash.
you know, I think so. I don't really remember M dashes very well. I just remember when you're supposed to use them, not like what size they are. But yeah, so an M is just basically saying I want the space to be equal to that number of M's
Okay.
in the current font that you're using.
So it's gonna be going off of the font
Yeah, it's going to be
size.
going off the font. And the relative M, the rem, is actually based upon whatever the font size in that specific area.
Okay. So if we try 2.5 rem like they suggested, then what would that be like?
Well, let's find out.
Okay. Seems a bit big. Maybe we should go for like 2 or something. Or maybe 1.5. I don't know though.
Also, our text is right at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should just do a single 2.5 rem all the way around, left, right, top, and bottom.
Okay. Here we go. But it's still kind of. I
It's a
think
little
the
bit
font
big,
needs
isn't
work.
it?
Yeah.
Well, let's we could change that. We don't have to use 2.5 rem.
Okay. Let's try like 1.5 and just increasing the font size. So if we do like, is that a thing? Like that.
Well, let's try it. I mean, you're also assuming that 12 points is not like the basic font.
Yeah.
Do you want this font to be everywhere or just this font like right here in the nav, but the top nav?
I don't know. I
So we
think it
have,
should be everywhere, but I don't know.
well, okay, let's reset our defaults then. If we go and we find our app.scss file,
Okay. Sass app.scss. There we go.
yeah, this is where we ended up putting our CSS reset.
Right. Right. Okay.
And the proper way to use a reset in an application is to put it in here, and then we'll actually set the defaults that we really want to be.
Okay. Great.
That way we don't end up setting them like twice.
So where would we want our font stuff to be? Is it this first one? It's got all the H's.
Well, so like if you notice what it's doing, if we look down a little bit, it's saying, okay, everything, all these things are going to have like a margin 0, a padding 0, a border 0, a font size of 100%, font of inherit, and a vertical align of baseline. That's fine. What we want to do is we want to sort of like reset the base font for everything. So what we could do there is font size not 100%, but like a specific amount. But we might also want to explicitly set what an H1 size is too.
Okay. I think we should set what an H1 size is. I don't know.
Do you like the size of those links on the right?
I mean, it's kind of small. They're kind of small.
Then what we can do is we can set the font size a little bit bigger here.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's go 15 pixels, I guess.
Sure, let's try it.
That doesn't seem any different to me. Shall we try to increase it again? So 24 pixels. Okay, something isn't updating. I don't think.
All right, so yeah, that's not being hit. If we go along and we take a look at our browser, well, font size 24 pixels. So it actually is taking this into account. But if I go and like I press up arrow on it, it's not increasing the size of our font here.
Filter, it's like crossed out. It's crossed out in my browser. It's just like disregarding it.
Oh, is it?
Oh, you know what? I think it's because we're overriding. I think, okay, so like we have font right underneath font size. So what if we put font size underneath font now? I think it was like...
We could try that.
There we go. And 24 suddenly seems much bigger than it was just a second ago. Let's try just 20. There we go. That seems all right.
And let's also set our H1. Like, do we want streamer titles to be a different... like, do we want streamer schedules, that text, to be the same size or bigger?
I would say bigger.
All right, let's set an H1 size. We could just do that at the bottom here.
Okay, great. H1 font size. We'll say, should I just be using pixels? Would that be good, or should I use M's?
So this, I would say we should be consistent with whatever we choose to do. Because this is like the root area, if we're going to use M's, it's going to be based upon the font size that we set up above.
Let's go for pixels then. Let's try 24. It's only like 4 points higher, but I don't know if... Yeah, that saved. Okay, cool. Hey, great. Not bad. Oh, oops. Cancel. Okay, great.
Do you like it?
I don't like the serif font.
Okay, well, we could change those fonts too.
Okay, let's see. Let's do a font family. Sans serif. Do you mind saving that?
Saved.
There we go. There we go. That's much easier on the eyes.
Katali suggests Montserrat and Quicksand.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. There. And quicksand. My mouse is broken. Okay. Quick.
Wait, do you still have a broken mouse? It's been like a week.
Yeah. I mean, it's been literally like a year and a half. It's been forever. Okay, so I messed up the font family. Oh, what? Wait. What did I do wrong?
Oh, my computer doesn't have them, so we're gonna have to import them from Google.
Oh, shoot. So it's not the common. Oh, wait. No, that worked that time. Because it should just default to sans serif, right? Yeah, I don't have them, but at least they're there. You need commas in between. I didn't know you needed commas. So fonts.google.com. Let's try Montserrat.
Oh, and thank you, Katali. I will copy and paste that in. Let me go grab
Oh,
that.
sick. Okay. You found it for us. I'm gonna delete the quicksand because like if we're importing it, then what's the point of importing a second one if we know that one's gonna be there? Actually, let me look at quicksand and see if it's good. Oh, huh. Family or quicksand? That's really odd. Quicksand looks nice too. Anyways. Hey, it worked.
And we can put quicksand in there, or we have access to it now elsewhere too. If we want to like have like titles be one and have like text be the other.
So just that one import did both of them?
Yes. And so that's a very common thing is like if you're getting it from Google Fonts, you do a single import. It does a single HTTP request to Google servers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, every request you do is a pretty bad overhead, and we want to avoid like it's actually better to have one larger request than like a billion smaller requests if they all have to happen at the same time.
Okay, gotcha. I like that. Okay, that's nice. So using my dev tools real quick, I've got this font experimentation so that we can actually like can fiddle with the weight and the size itself.
I'm not sure that like playing with every single little tiny piece of the font
Yeah,
is necessary.
Ooh, though, like this looks pretty good to me. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Okay, letter. Is this the right thing? Ooh, yeah. Okay, give that a refresh.
Oh yes, yeah. This is truly wonderful. Clearly, we should just ship this. This is the best.
Clearly shippable now. Okay. Enough with the letter spacing. I didn't know letter spacing existed like that. That's funny. I like that. Okay. Anyways, now that we're back to the regular programming,
let's try like reducing the space around the streamer schedules because this is a really huge top nav.
Yes. So maybe just either 1 rem or 1.25 rem. Let's try 1 rem. That seems fine. What do you think?
Yeah, this is fine. So remember that the rem is based upon the size of the M of the font that is being used.
But we have two of them, two different sizes, fonts being used.
Yeah, so that's a good point, and I actually don't know which font it uses here.
The biggest? I don't know.
Possibly.
Maybe it's the smallest.
Well,
I can actually test it when I think about it.
actually, is there two spaces? I don't think we only have one. I guess yeah, we have two sizes, but it's the same font. And Katali is suggesting that we now turn our attention to making the links look better and maybe a tiny bit smaller.
Okay.
Rama, hey, good morning. Hello.
I'm going to go ahead and add it to the SCSS, make the links just a bit smaller. So right now they're at 20. And if we were just to tweak that just a bit, they suggested the 18. Think 18's enough to make a noticeable difference? Maybe it's just ever so slightly bigger than it needs to be.
I'm not sure I'll
There
be
we
able to
go.
help you, Rama. We're busy doing this this program.
In the
Hard
manga?
Venture, you thought that pair programming was a gimmick in the manga you were reading.
Is it
No,
manga or
it's a very real thing.
Mango. MongoDB. MangoDB. Mongo.
There's an
I
A
don't
at
know what
the
I'm
end.
saying.
Mongo is a database. All right, let's. So this is a good size, I think, for the links. But we want to get rid of they're blue on blue, so we can change
Yeah.
that, and we can also remove that underline.
Ooh, yeah, I agree. Hang on, I might know this by text. Hang on, I think I remember this. Decoration. None. Right? Is that gonna get rid of the? Oh wait, I think you have to save it for me. Again.
So that does get
My
rid of the
mouse.
underlines.
Yes. Okay. I don't like the underlines. And let's change the color too. What if we did that? Let's go crazy. Let's be a bit edgy right now. Ooh, I'm torn.
You're torn?
I don't know. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but I think it's a little bit difficult to read.
Well, I mean, not as bad as you thought it would be. Could basically mean it doesn't cause your eyes to bleed when you attempt to look at it.
Well, it's not. It doesn't look that bad to me, but it. I feel like it'd be difficult to read on a poor monitor. You know.
I mean, I have a decent monitor. It's not difficult to read, but it does cause eye strain.
Okay, gotcha.
Katali is suggesting a darker blue.
Darker blue, gotcha. Let's see how that would look. You got a hex code or something? Let's just try dark blue like that. I think this is a little bit too dark of a blue to blue.
I don't know.
That's fine, actually.
So because we have really, really light background, darker colors actually are a little bit easier to read on it.
Yes. Okay. I would like some more space between login and create account. Do you think we should wrap those in their own little boxes or?
So yeah, there's a couple choices here. If we want to add space in between there, we do have there's two A tags. You have your div with the link container. There's some things we can do there with margins.
So hang on a second. If we go something like .link container, can I go something like this? A first or something? Is that not a thing?
No, so we can't exactly do this because this is not Sass.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know how it works then. Huh.
So what you want is you want the first a tag inside of the div that has the class link container. That's a greater than sign like this. So then it would be a,
Uh-huh.
and then we can do first.
First. Okay. So we'd want a margin right of, I don't know. Let's go 3 pixels, something just like that. If we do the same thing for the last, can we do that? And then, oh wait, that doesn't look like it's happy about it. Can we just do in between A tags? Because I don't know.
So a little bit of advanced CSS information here. Margins will collapse on each other. So when you have a margin right and a margin left for two adjacent boxes, they're just only one of them will take effect.
Okay.
So you might as well only have like the margin right.
Only have the margin right. Okay, gotcha. So I mean, like, what if we want like if we had multiple links and we want spaces in between those links, but we don't want that extra space on the last link, right? Oh, so what if we did this? 0.
Well, so you want it on the last link, but you're already selecting the first A here.
Right?
So it's not going to affect the last A.
Oh, wait, but I did this too. I did
Oh, well
all
then why do
A's.
we even have this at all?
Well, I guess we could go like this. Wait. Oh, what? I messed this up. Margin right, margin left. So we could go like that, right? And
Why
so
do
that
we
would do it.
I guess like why do we need this one at all?
Because if we didn't have it, then wouldn't the first one have a margin left of 3 pixels? And I don't know if we want that. Like, I was just thinking we only want the margin in between the A's.
I mean, so we could, but it might be easier for us to just use margin right because of the collapsing margin system. It won't double up on us.
Huh. Okay.
Here, I'll show you. So if we save this file, and let's not use 3 pixels. That's too small. We can't tell with that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do like 20.
So
Okay.
there we see like the big jump there. If you switch to also having like that's the margin on the right. If we switch to having margin on the left too.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean?
Like let's make the last one have a margin left down here.
Okay.
Do margin left of 20 pixels. And so if you refresh, absolutely nothing changes here.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
And so this is called collapsing margins. And what CSS or the browser is doing for us is saying, hey, I recognize that you have a margin on one of these elements. The other element has the same amount of margin. We're going to just collapse them in on each other so you don't have unexpected results. And you can share this code across multiple pages and it'll work as expected.
Huh, that's funny because that was an unexpected result for me, but maybe I'm just not like acquainted with what it actually does and
Yeah.
expected the incorrect thing.
Well, and so that's the key for That's the key for really truly understanding CSS and what's happening. It could drive people crazy if they're like, I want it to be bigger. I want, like, you're trying to add both of them. Just add it to one of the elements.
Okay, gotcha. So now that we have, like, couldn't we just kind of go like this? Like, is this even necessary anymore? Yeah, I mean, that works. So
Now, if we have, this is the left and right. If we have a left of 0 though, so let's add this one in. Wait, how did that? Oh, I see. Let's get rid of these two. And then I want to double check this.
So I still see the margin there.
So the margin, where's the margin left for this first element?
I see margin on both sides, but it could be collapsed, and it's.
Oh, you know what? It's not selecting this link container. A first is not taking effect.
Wait, so if we just do like, we do something like that, that's not going to change it?
Right, because it's so I'm looking at styles, it's not present.
Oh, okay. Huh. So how do we get the first one then?
So link container, that's this class here. And then we have the first level of A, so the first set of children, that's an A and it's a first. So that being said, like, this is, for some reason, this is not selecting properly. If we sort of play around and keep on looking, it's not that. I think this first is not what we want. Either that or it's not selecting the link container. If I delete all those, link container is now being selected with this.
Okay, link container.
I see it. I see it on there. So if I say A, let's try first child instead of first.
So I see something like, hey, that worked though. Yeah.
Yeah, that worked.
What I saw is this. They went like, where I just saw it. Oh, come on. What?
So something that's really interesting, I don't know if you noticed this, if you delete and re-add the margin left 0, it doesn't change the position of login.
Wait, say that again? What?
If you turn off, if you toggle the margin left CSS rule, it doesn't change the position of login.
Okay, that's interesting.
Now, so I don't know how Flexbox is working behind the scenes. I don't know if they're using
oh yeah, because we do.
If they're using margins too, sort of like, so that way the collapsing sort of takes effect in the same way. But essentially, we don't need this at all.
Yeah, I agree.
It vastly simplifies our CSS, and everything works the way we just expect and want it to.
Nice.
All right, let's catch up on chat.
On chat, yeah, I see stuff.
Hotplay, can we both see localhost? Yes, we can. So we didn't have to do anything special. We just ran the application. It looks like LiveShare detected that we were starting a server and shared my port. It opened a port so that his computer can get in and access it.
If you want to come over to my stream, feel free though. I mean, if you want to see how it looks over here.
Do you have a link? You can drop that into chat.
Yeah, let me do that then. Wait, I don't have a link. Hang on.
Let's see. Harg Mentor, I know Katali already answered this, but for pair programming, um, the idea is that somebody drives and somebody navigates. So the navigator is not programming, like generally doesn't touch the keyboard, and is helping like direct where we're going, and the driver is actually doing most of the typing in a traditional pair programming environment. So for example, there's a company, what are they called? I just had them in my head and I just forgot it. There's a company that used to be on the floor above where I worked, and I went up and visited them. They did 100% pair programming, and every single station was a single computer, two monitors, and um, one set of keyboard and mice, and that was it. And then you can pass the keyboard and mice back and forth to each person as you switch off and pairing. Katali, you're suggesting we update the active and hover field. So if we hover over it right now, so it's not changing any of that. Visiting it isn't changing that either.
Okay. Yeah, I like how it doesn't change once we've visited, because then it just seems like, I don't know, I don't know why, but I don't.
It is refreshing the page. But yeah, we can put in the active, hover, and visited properties for these, because even though we're on these browsers, not all browsers will necessarily respect that. So we want to like control it completely.
Okay, so we want some different hover color then, or not?
Yeah, so we want to set the color for these A tags here.
Okay, great. On hover? I don't know how to do it on hover.
Oh, it's so it's the colon.
It is the colon? Okay.
Yeah.
So just like that then. And we'll go for a darker blue. Dark blue. No, dang it. Okay. Navy? I don't know. That change the color any?
So is this a hover?
Yes. Is it working?
That's, I can't tell. It's so light.
Okay, let's change I'll change it to red. Okay. There. No, it's not working.
Hold on, I saved it.
Oh, okay. Let me refresh that.
Yeah, it is working.
Hey, okay.
And Katoli is also just suggesting that we change the way our A tags work so that they don't refresh the page.
So isn't that an issue? Like, should we even be using A tags, or should we be using the route links? You know?
Well, so you're used to React, right? With React Router.
Yes.
And you pull in this giant like link component and use that.
Yes.
So let's actually go and like look it up. So if we look at the Vue router, sort of like link.
Where would that? So I remember it's yeah, okay. So landing component has a router link. And this is the form it takes. So it goes like this. Like this. Okay, that's gonna give us some issues then.
Wait, why is that an issue? You didn't finish the tag though.
Okay. I'll keep doing it then. I just thought it was underlying and being like, hey, that's not gonna work. But where was I? I was just like right there. Yeah, okay, there. I found it. And then we just close it back off. And if I call this one the login one, Yeah, so like
Let's just try this. Let's see what happens.
I'll name this login 2. Even though it's gonna be the first login. Okay, so it didn't show up at all for me. Oh, and we've got errors in the console.
Yeah, so we've got errors in the console down here.
Okay, yeah. So it's saying raw expression valid regular expression flag. So it was thinking that we were actually writing a regular expression, which makes sense because of the slashes.
Let's just try not having the colon.
Okay. Did you save that? Okay, let's see.
Oh, here, I'll save it.
Okay, and that did work, and it did not refresh. I do
Yeah.
like that.
Well, so the Kotali has a pro Vue tip for us, which is that we don't need router link. We could also just do an A tag and set, instead of href, we do just 2.
Oh, really? Huh.
So here, we'll delete this middle one.
So there, and if we refresh, so create account, when I click on it, oh, huh. So that didn't actually, it didn't actually do it for me. It doesn't become clickable in the same sense.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me.
Katali, what the heck? Why are you lying to us?
There might be something else that we can do to like make it work. Let's use router link for right now. Let's
Okay,
also
great.
be consistent, so we'll use router link.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see. For some reason I blanked out there for a second. Let me do that, and let me do that, and this should be good. And if we try it, yep, it works for login too, and it works for create account. Great.
And so notice, if we just have some kind of message in the console and we're clicking on these links, that message doesn't go away anymore.
Awesome. That's nice.
So we're in full single page app mode now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, let's rename this login too. That seems a little bit silly.
Okay. Yeah, just rename it to just login because we don't have the first login, so we only need one.
Yeah. A standard pattern also is to make it so that the header, if you click on that, it takes you to the home page.
Yes, I was thinking that. However, is there a way to not lose our styling for the H1 that we already have?
Well, let's try it. Let's just put a router link inside of the H1.
Put a router link inside the H1. Oh, right, because maybe okay. Yeah, I'm just going to try it. Let's see. But, I mean, it could end up really odd, too. Let's see.
Luckily, we're developers. We can handle things that become odd.
Let's see. Yeah, that's right, actually. It's what we do. Okay. I'm just going to style it like that. Maybe it'll automatically do it for me. Okay. Yeah, so it did mess with our styling. It seems like under the hood, it actually changed it to an A tag within an H1 tag.
Oh, so Katali says he's sorry. And it's because you've settled up Vue. You must have set up Vue router in some strange way. That's really, if you figure out what strange way you've set up Vue router that works, that would be really interesting to look at. Until then, so there's this way. There's the other way, which we could put H1s inside of the router link. Both would work because if we set like special margins on the H1, they're not going to be clickable, just like barely outside of it. So we have to like sort of be mindful about how we want this to work. We could try putting these H1s inside router link.
Okay. So just flip it a bit.
Just flip it a little bit.
Oh, oopsies. There we go. Maybe this will do it. Let me see it. I've got so many windows open. It's so difficult. Hey, great.
And now, so it's the same blue, but we can override the H1 color now.
Okay. Let's see. Hang on. Sorry. I had to reset my Twitch account password, and I have a weird way of storing my passwords. So, okay. So now that we've got that, let's change the H1. I'm gonna change it right here. Let's just change the color to black. Can't go wrong with that. There we go.
Yeah, and so now we have a clickable header that takes us back to like the home page. And we also have these links that take us to their individual pages.
Awesome. Awesome. Whoa, that looks so much nicer. What? Wow. It already looks kind of nice.
I mean, that's kind of the point of styling.
All right,
so now that we have
big difference.
Well, yeah. Now that we have this, let's switch over and create our we could create a, what do you want to do? Login or create account page?
Let's do login first, I think.
Login. All right, let's create a component for login.
Okay. That should be pretty simple. I know what I'm doing. I hope.
Well, since you know what you're doing, I guess I'll just head on out.
Okay.
It's been about an hour. I think if we've been sitting down for this long, let's everybody stand up and we'll do a little bit of a stretch.
I'm touching my toes right now. You can't see me, but I'm doing it. Trust me. Okay. You keep stretching. I'm gonna see how far I can get on this. Okay. Login component .view. Okay. If we do this. Okay, hang on. Let me quickly plug real quick. let me do a plug for those who want to watch my stream. Oh wait, that's not the stream. Dang it. Okay, I won't worry about the plug right now. Template. Okay. And let me look in here. Let me just get some random stuff. Random stuff for login. So now that that's there, I should be able to go into here and be all like this. Look at this. I'm a true hacker right now, man. Okay. Using the multi-cursor and everything. Okay. I'm being ridiculous. What was it called? Login component? Come on, IntelliSense. Come on. It's just, there we go. Okay. So now that that's there, let me see our progress. If we click login, ooh, not off to a good start. oh, hang on, I know why. Okay, there we go.
Random stuff for login.
There we go. Okay, hang on. I feel like there should be an easier way to nest them though. Like I feel like path accounts, and then I feel like you should be able to nest path login within the accounts object, but we won't get into that now.
There is a way to nest routes. Our application won't need that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Okay, good then. I won't get into that then. Let's go to this. Actually not. Let's not go to that. Let me go to this. I'm going to the login and I'm gonna see what they have. Oh, what was it? So
Katali says, as a little tip, you can create a is that an auth component and reuse it for
I
the
think
register and login routes using name or parameters in the routes. Yeah, we definitely could. I think right now we can keep it separate and we can choose if we want to like remove anything out of those just to keep it super simple. But yeah, that's a super good idea to limit the number of forms we would have to create.
okay, you know what? I'm winging it. I'm just gonna go like form action. I forget. We probably don't even want an action, but let's just put something in for now.
Um, whatever you do, you must have a method.
Really? What
Yeah.
is that? I
So
forget.
so here's a security tip. If you don't have a method in a form, and for some reason we forget to do something in our code, and it defaults to the browser normal behavior, it's going to default to a get request, and it's going to put all of that data that we sent in into the URL and potentially ship that off to the internet, where it will be cached in all of the routers.
Ooh. Okay, gotcha. So what if I leave the method blank? Would that suffice for
No,
now?
we want to put post in there.
Post, okay.
That's it. That's all we need.
Okay, great. We don't need the action then?
We probably don't need the action. It'll default to like slash, I think, but it won't matter. If we do our job right, everything will be fine.
Okay, great. I forget if you call this we'll give it a name and an ID. So name equals username as well. And this is self-closing, right? And then we'll say username like that. I'm just gonna insert a BR because I am old-fashioned. End password. There. And then we'll do another break because again, you can go wrong with breaks.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need breaks. We have styles.
Let's see. Type is submit. Is that a thing? I forget. It is. Okay. We'll just rename, like, what is it? Text. Modify that. Login. Oh wait, do you mind saving it?
Saving.
There we go. Oh, nope, that didn't change it, huh? What do you do to change the submit?
Like, what do you mean? Oh,
So
like the
like,
text?
yeah,
It'll be the value.
value, right? Okay. It's been quite some time. There we go. Okay.
You could also
So
just have a normal button here.
just a button, you think would be better?
Yep, that would work. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Either of them work.
Semantically,
Something.
a button would make more sense, I think. Do
I
you think?
mean, either work. This is just the same as a button. In the end, I noticed you have label 4 and you're not using the 4.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. There we go.
Mr. Tamagotchi asks, "Isn't button more stylable?" It's easier to style because selecting it
Yeah.
is easier.
Let's go ahead and make that a button. I feel like we should just make it a button. I agree. And it would have saved me the issue with wait. Okay, now I actually don't know what to do with the button.
What do you mean?
Do we have to be like so this is actually the submit button? Like, how do we know that this button is the one that submits for the form?
We'll find out pretty quickly. But here's a really easy way. We click the button and see if it refreshes the page.
Sick. Let's do that then. Log in. It did, but post is not a method for this route, so it just did it.
Well, because it actually attempted to send a post to that route.
Sweet.
Now, okay, so you have label for username, label for password. One thing we could do, since we're trying to be a little bit good with our semantic tags here for screen readers a little bit here, we can add a role to the button.
Okay.
I always forget which roles we want to use, so I always look them up. I think it's submit, but Indian button role. And there's a list of them. You can't just put whatever you want. It has to be one of the ones.
Okay. Role button submit form. Is that a thing? Role equals. Oh, hang on. Can I make a button not submit a form? Is their question? No, I want it to. Oh.
Is it role button? Is that all it is?
Well, there is a type equals submit, and there's a role equal button. Yeah, so you could set the type to button, or you could set the type to submit. And I think there's so many ways.
If we use the button tag, we don't need to use the role.
No, okay.
It would be role equals button if we're not using the button tag.
Right, okay. So let's do type equals submit. I don't think that should break anything, but it seemed like that's what should happen. Huh.
It won't change anything for us. It's really just telling the browser this is what's going to go on, and our browser doesn't really need it, but someone's browser, maybe if it's headless, or if the browser is like speaking words to people, it adds a little bit of context information.
Okay, great. I feel like that should be necessary though. Whatever.
Well, let's style this. Let's make this form look better.
Sweet. Let's make that scope. So what do you say? What do you say? Let's get rid of these breaks. We don't need any breaks if we're gonna be styling it now. I'm gonna keep those enters because spacing. So should we style directly on the form? Like that?
We could.
Or should we?
Well, okay. What's the styling? What do you want?
I'm thinking let's just center it for now, and let's go from there. Let's make the text boxes align, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
Let's use flexbox again, I guess. Oh, hang on. Let me open up the docs for the flexbox again. I always seem to forget at the right moments.
Do you know what flexbox by default does?
What?
Probably not what you want it to do.
I agree. Let's do. Okay, hang on. So I'm thinking maybe we want these inputs like this. Might want them like that. I don't know if this is exactly how we want them. This is how I would do it in React because it would yell at me if I tried doing it any other way. It was mean, a bully. Okay. But I think that might be easier to make it actually flex. You know what? No, I'm not doing that. That's gonna complicate things. Okay. Going back to the basics. Let's do this. How did this work? How
Well,
is
so
that
what
gonna
do, what do you have right now? What does it look like right now?
do you mind saving it? Okay. Let's see. Okay, ugly. It looks pretty ugly.
Okay, so ugly. Yes. Let's do what Katali is suggesting and using a direction column, but it's not just direction. It's
Yeah,
close.
isn't it like flex direction?
Yes, flex direction.
Okay, column. There we go. So shouldn't that center? Oh, okay. Okay. Still ugly. I'd say uglier. I'm sorry, Katali.
Well, wait a second. This isn't Katali's fault. This
It was a good suggestion. I'll give
I
you that.
actually think this looks better than what it was. There's
Okay.
still there's still some there's still a lot we have to do to it, but
uh what am I trying to do? I'm trying to like make it so that we essentially have two columns. That's what I'm trying to do.
wait, so you want like username on the left and password on the right?
Well, I was thinking like username on the left with the text box on the right, and then underneath that username and then
Hmm.
password.
Okay, so remember how Flex is working. It's just working on the immediate children of of the parent. So form is the parent and all the children are now in a column.
So could we like, is this what you're saying?
Let's try that.
I wish there were a keybind to wrap stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna let there we go, okay. Let's do that. So yeah, that was kind of what I was afraid of. I would know how to do this in grid.
What do you mean afraid of?
We lose our lines. Like, you see how these two text boxes, they aren't related in any way because they're now in their own little sections.
Well, okay. Let's set the width for our sections.
We want to set our width?
Yeah.
That sounds ugly. Section. Okay. We'll try it.
So
Width.
these
Should we go for a pixel or a percentage
well,
or
okay, so think about this. We what did we do up at the top at the nav bar between like customer schedules and the buttons and the links?
we said justify content, right?
Right. We did a justify content space between.
Yes.
So we can do the same thing here, and that will right align the. It would basically make the labels on the left and the inboxes on the right.
Okay.
But it does it to the children, the immediate children, and the immediate
Yeah.
children of form is the sections.
Yeah. So, is there a way to get two on a column? Um, like I'm thinking, I really don't want to have these sections. I think these sections are messing things up.
Are they? We can use them. We can use them for good.
Okay, okay. I'll trust you. Use another flex in section. Creative. Grib Nobu's a nutter.
Well, actually, that's kind of what we want to do.
uh, what? I mean, it's possible, but I feel like that's just like we have two flexboxes. I feel like we could solve this with just one grid.
I mean, you might be able to solve this with one grid. Would you rather use grid here?
I think I would. Because then like I could kind of go like this. So I'm gonna comment out what we have so far. I'm literally going to duplicate all this code and just comment it out. And then edit it right underneath. So I'm going to get rid of these sections. I'm going to get rid of these. And then that. And then I'm just going to go like this. Okay. Form, display, grid, grid, template, columns. And if we do that, and honestly, right there, that's kind of what I'm going for. Do you mind saving that? Quick. I don't think the alignment is going to be perfect, but they're going to have their own separate spaces, like left and right and everything. What we could do is then we could say something like button, column or grid column, 1/3 or something. Grid, how do I say it? Grid column, there we go. And so now login should span the entire way. Yeah, and then I mean, this is going to be ugly, but we'll find a better way to center it. Margin, and then we'll do 0 on the top and bottom, and like 50. Yeah, let's do like 33%. So that should smush it, right? Yeah. So I mean, something like that. I don't know. Then we could do stuff like grid spacing. How do we do that again? Let's see. Grid gap. Here we go. And we could do 1M or something like that. So kind of, I mean, that was what I had in my head, essentially. I don't like how I did the margin. I don't, you know.
The margin to center it?
Yeah, I mean, I centered it, but, you know, it doesn't seem as robust as it could be.
If we give it a width, we can center this using flexbox.
Okay, let's do that then, I guess. Because, I mean, there's no real way of avoiding it, like nesting these. I don't know. I guess we could have done Flexbox all along.
Well, okay, so I mean, that's the answer is that grid is good for certain things. Flexbox is good for certain things. And you can use grid and flexbox together for, maximum benefit.
Maximum CSS or SAS.
Well, so you're the top level tag we have here to work with is the form. So you have display grid. The problem here is that we can't use flexbox because we're display grid instead.
Okay, so what if we wrap this in a section and then did a flex on the section?
All right, let's try that.
So we're still having to nest it, which bummer, I guess.
This is HTML. It's like everything is about nesting.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So I guess like this is a pro tip for programming. If we try to get too clever and use like less nesting, less code, just to use less nesting and less code, we could actually make it really hard for ourselves later if we need to update it.
I hope I didn't just do that with grid. Gonna be real. But I mean, we'll see. Space. Wait, no. Yeah, wait. I don't remember. Let me look at the docs again. I'm trying to get it centered. I thought it was justify content. Space. Well, center. Okay, you can do a center on the justify content. So if we come over here now. There we go. I mean, it's not great, but.
Well, what you could do is you could change your grid stuff now to make a use of all of the space you have.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, so if we set we want to we want to like what do you want it to look like? How do you want to change it?
Um, I what I'm worried about, really, I mean, I think this looks all right on desktop, but like if I view this on mobile, then maybe we would want the username to be above the actual text box that you write in. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And for that, I feel like you would use flexbox.
I mean, is there a way for grids to? So I haven't used grid myself. Is there a way for grid to change as the size changes, or are we just going to use?
I would just use media queries
We would
for
probably
that.
just use media queries and redo the grid at that point.
Yeah, and I don't like doing that. I feel like we should avoid that.
Let's
I don't know
not worry
though.
about that right now.
Okay.
Do you like the way it looks right now?
I think it's fine, yeah. I mean, the button could be wider. I feel like the text boxes themselves are like small.
Wait, the button could be wider.
Why like taller, I guess.
Taller.
So
I was
it's
gonna say it's pretty
yeah,
wide right
not
now.
wider. Yeah. And
Well,
maybe
we
this
can
entire
make
thing
the
is just
button
too
large.
wide.
We can make the button taller.
Okay, yeah, I mean
The width 20.
button.
I liked it when it was a little bit wider, like the 50% width.
You like 50? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. It's just not going to look good at all on mobile. And 25 is going to look even worse on mobile, but
We'd want it to switch to 100% on mobile.
yes. We would. But whatever. We'll worry about that later.
All right. Let's style this button. Let's make that look better.
Okay. So I'm just thinking like height, like 2M. I don't.
Why set a height?
Um. Well, I was thinking I just want it a little bit bigger, just easier to click on. It's wide, but it's not. It's not. I mean, it's the text is small as well. What do you think?
Well, we could also do that, or we can use padding.
Okay. So would the padding do the border like that then?
The padding will
It's,
also affect it left and right. So we
it's
we
probably
do
not.
we do need to be a little bit careful with that.
Oh, wait, though. Look what it looks like. It keeps it in line. I guess that's because you can't go out of the outside of the what's it called? CSS grid. It
Well,
like smushes it. Like
it's not that. Remember the box model. Remember
oh,
how
okay.
like where padding is.
Yes. It includes the border, I guess, is my best guess.
Yeah. So in my mind, the best way to sort of visualize this is with padding. Start with the edge, and then it moves inwards. And with margin, start at the edge and move outwards.
Okay. So is this fine then? I mean, do we just want it at top and bottom?
This is probably fine. I don't know if we want it that big.
Yeah, I agree. Let's try just 1 EM. I mean, like, do you want it like less wide too? You think it's too wide right now?
I mean,
Just want it
it's
over on
it's
the
a
side.
stylistic choice.
So I'm not exactly certain. Honestly, like we could do something like this, I guess. Width and just say something like 50 pixels. Something like that. I'm pretty sure it would okay, it went to the left, which isn't great.
Where would you want it?
I would want it over on the right.
You'd want it
I
on
don't
the
know.
right?
I think. I mean, it would just feel natural. You think?
Um, I don't know. it's like this is again another a design decision. I could see any of them really working here. Big oink. Why am I doing pair programming? So this is a pair programming slash mentoring stream. So I'm mentoring Kael, who is a high school graduate. He's going to college at the end of the summer, and he hasn't. You haven't really worked on like any more businessy side real applications, right?
Nope, nope. Done my personal projects, and that's about all.
Yeah. So that's what this is for. It's a leveling up. We're leveling up Kael.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
So I don't know. I'm not a designer, so the like
Yeah,
mileage
neither am
varies quite a bit with this. I do like the aesthetics of a button that sort of like I don't. It doesn't really bother me.
Okay.
Wherever it goes. If we want it on the right, we then have to think about like where everything is. It is currently just a button that's a child of form.
Yes.
And form is a CSS grid.
Okay.
So can you have a grid rule that puts the button on the right?
So I'm not certain. We could put it over on the right. Like we could kind of go like this. But I don't think this is the type of right that we'd want. Yeah. So I mean that's not that bad. Like, oh, I don't really know exactly. What if I'm gonna try something. Text. Align left. I don't know if this works. I don't remember.
I mean,
I
it
hit
definitely
left.
works. I don't think it's what you think, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah. Okay, I'm just confusing myself now. Okay. But what was it? Align within column. Let's see. Just searching some up. I think it's make it look so nice on MDN. And I'm like, whenever I try to do it, it's like less extendable, you know?
I think so because you're using grid, we have to solve this with a grid.
Okay. With another grid, are you saying? Okay, here. I've got something. I found something. I remember having to do this a little bit. But here, let me just change this back to 1-3 because this shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Okay. There we go. So that did it. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for. What I'm still worried about what it's gonna look on mobile. And I think Flexbox has it beat in that category, unless we wanted to start hopping in on the media queries. But I don't really think so.
Let's not worry about that right now. We could definitely go in and like make things look a little bit better on mobile at another time. Cybertech had suggested a margin left auto to do this thing, but the justify self is a little bit easier to read in my mind. Yeah, Cybertech, that the margin left auto is definitely what we would do if we weren't using a flexbox.
Oh, you mean a grid?
Or grid, like if we were using the older style.
Oh yeah, we're using both, aren't we?
Yeah, Katali is suggesting that we don't have such square buttons. We maybe look them a little bit more soft.
So this is when you say like make them softer, this is actually going to change the entire feel of the application. So do we want a roundy a roundy type application? Because if we make this round, then we got to make a bunch of things round, right?
Well, you tell me.
I mean, I'm down for roundness. Whatever floats your boat.
All right, well then let's do it. Let's make our everything rounded. Which, if we're going to do everything, let's put that into
Let's use the reset then.
Exactly.
Lovely. Okay. Let's just put it in. How would this go? Let's try this. Let's see. What mayhem would this cause? Okay, that wasn't actually that bad. Actually, it didn't do anything. It did not change the button.
No,
at all.
it did a lot of things.
Well, I see that it changed our header, but
Right.
it didn't do anything to the thing that I wanted it to do.
Correct. So it changed the header, which means we have this weird little spot on the corners.
Very awkward. 0 to 10.
Right. We ended up putting a radius exactly where we didn't want it.
Awesome.
So
how did I manage to do that?
Remove it from that line. We don't need it there.
Gotcha.
So what do we want to have the border radius?
Inputs and buttons, because those are the most squarey things I've seen in my life.
Well, then let's add them there. Let's create something for inputs and buttons.
All right. There. So did that do it?
It did it. And so now, depending upon what browser you look in, this is going to look potentially great or potentially horrible.
Okay. I really think it has to do with the border itself. I think we're using a beveled or something, some sort of, it's not like a solid border. I think a solid border would look much better with these roundedness.
Well, then let's set that here too.
So we have the border radius, and I'm one who separates this into lines. Like, I'll do a border radius, and then I'll do a border left or whatever it is. So I mean border. What was it? What are my options? Let's see. So border style, I think. Style, and then can I do solid? You know what? I'm gonna merge this because I'm pretty sure you can just do this. Let me make sure that this is the exact. Do you mind saving that? I know red is not gonna look good at all, but like, just to make sure that we've got the solid red. Okay, lovely. Okay.
I mean, we make it look like you've just failed validation always.
Yeah. You're bad at this now. Yeah, you even messed up on the login button. I mean, I didn't think that was possible, but let's get rid of that red then. Let's make it green. Make you successful on everything. Anyways, okay. Let's actually put it as a color we want. Do we even want a color though? What's the idea here? What are we going for?
Because we're now take away the border then. Like make the border white, let's say.
All right. Or can I just say like border none?
Yeah, you could do border none. So you could do like
I'm gonna do border none.
Border none. Which in our case is the same as border white right now.
Right, but once we get into the
and see what happens.
I like the login button. I don't like the inputs.
You mean the lack of input ability to find them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a problem. We actually just reversed this a little bit. It's now easier to use our page in a screen reader than it is if you're sighted.
Lovely. Oh, taste of our own medicine then. Huh.
Okay, let's put a border. So what happens is if you override the border on inputs, it is completely gone now. You have to now control everything yourself. Mm-hmm. And this is how we get those really cool things where if we say, okay, what if we do only the border bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Or I think wait, what is that? You could do border. I can't remember like the full thing. If we do none on this, then we could do border bottom.
Right. You could
We
make
could do
that a
1
solid
pixel.
zone.
What is it? Dotted.
Yeah,
Black.
that would. Let's see this. Kind of look. Ooh, not that bad.
Maybe not dotted. Maybe dashed.
Yeah. I mean, it was not that bad though. I mean, like, dotted was brave, but.
And we want no border radius.
On the bottom, we don't want any.
Well,
Oh no,
at least on
none
the button, on the inputs. But have you ever seen those forms that only have just like a line? And have you ever wondered like how they do that?
Well, I mean, I didn't wonder that hard because I mean, the first time I wanted it, I did it that way. Like, I guess the first time I was like, "Huh, how do you do this?" But like the first app I ever made, the bottom border is what I actually wanted. Funnily enough. And then I never used it again, actually.
So it's a cool system. I don't know if I really like this very much because majority of people are used to like complete borders around their input boxes.
Right.
So let's go ahead and like not do what I did.
Okay. So we'll just do like this then. Just make this. What if we tried that? What if we kept the radius too?
I'm not sure I like the radius.
I don't even see this. Oh. I guess I couldn't save it.
I saved it.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That hurts. That hurts. I do not.
Let's make it solid.
I'm sorry, Katali. The radius.
The radius isn't bad. It's the dash that's bad.
Oh, you don't like the dash?
Let's see. Catching up on chat. Katali use the valid. Yes, we could use the valid property to help us do form validation, and that will like add in some interesting things. They'll make it so we can like
turn green?
Make things red if we want to.
If we want to let them know that they messed up.
Yeah.
They didn't oopsies.
And Swiss Rabbit, what editor are we using that lets us both edit at the same time? This is VS Code, and we've installed the Live Share extension, which is by Microsoft. So it's an official extension. Let's put that radius back on.
Okay. We'll just keep with the 5 pixels for now. Yeah, that looks.
Sure.
So I would like to increase the font size on our inputs. So they're really small. They seem really small to me. So if I want to just target, and honestly, we could do it to the button too. So let me just see, because the button could use some too. Font size. Let's try 20. Do a little bit bigger than the 18, but not too big. Okay, interesting.
Remember also that we're updating the input and the button all at the same time here. We may want to well, okay. How small? Like how small is this to you? Like how much bigger do you want it to be? Uh-oh, did I lose Kael? It's frozen. My Slack call with him is frozen. That explains why suddenly he stopped talking. Did I lose you? Oh, and he's offline on Slack too. So I'm wondering if his computer crashed. Well, in the meantime, while we wait for him to come back, Cybertech, the form inputs by default don't use the same font styling as set in the body. Maybe add them to the generic pod of reset if not already. Yes, I think that might be a good idea too, because this is, as you can see, not good. So like adding a font in here, specifically doing something like button font. I don't know if we want to use the same font or not. And I'm also thinking we want to have a input that's separate. And our border radius can go into that. Actually, no, this stays in both. Our border goes around inputs only. There. Oh, probably a border none for the button. Katali, quick one question. Did I get the book you sent to me on Friday? Where did you send it to me? Was it like on Twitch or Twitter? You posted on the chat. I think maybe. I could go and look again at the chats for the last. You can send it to me on Discord. Are you which Discords are you on? Do you watch CJ's Coding Garden? Because I'm on his Discord there, so you could also send it to me there. That ooh, he's calling. Hey, Kael.
Oh my gosh, I just had a power surge. That was weird.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah.
Yes, Katali, you could send it to me on the Coding Garden Discord. So that would be perfect. I guess that is a question. Should I create my own like Slack for like the entire stream? Because I don't have anything like that right now, and it might be interesting.
I agree. What if we had like a Slack for this?
Yeah, we could have channels specifically for this. So I will. Well, first of all, is anybody else who's here watching would be interested in that?
Dang, I just like cut out. What was that? I don't even know what happened.
Well, it was a power
just,
surge.
like, everything just surged. I guess that happens. I'm not used to it, but I guess that just kind of happens. Let me. Okay, so still got everything good. Okay, everything's cool.
I made a couple changes here. I made the border for the inputs, and I removed the border from the buttons.
Okay, you made them just for the inputs. Remove the border. Okay, got you. Great. I think it looks pretty good.
I think we should have a title for this, because like if we're here and somebody is not paying attention to the URL, how do they know what this form is for?
Right. I agree. Okay. So if we just go into resources.js, I'm remembering components, login component. Above the form, I guess, let's do an H2. I don't know.
Why an H2?
Because I've sometimes, okay, I thought I had heard that something like, oh, you not necessarily that you should only have one H1, but the fact that you should have like a hierarchy of your headers, you know?
Okay, yes, absolutely. A hierarchy of headers is a good idea. Do we have a hierarchy of headers right now?
Well, we only have the H1, right?
Right, but that's in a different section of the web app.
So we should just have another H1?
Yeah, so like I'm not really sure that this is the title. This is the H1 for this section.
Okay. And they're completely different sections, so it's okay to use another
Yeah, so like
H1.
there's this entire theory of componentization, which is we're kind of sort of designing them for independence.
Right.
They shouldn't be aware of each other.
Okay. Got you. So now that we have that H1, I'm tempted just to put a line break in.
No,
But you know what?
no,
Let's not
no,
do it.
no line break.
Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. Let's do this then. I've got a better idea. I got a better idea. Okay.
I don't know if I like your
We're
better
gonna
idea.
trust me, you're gonna love it.
We don't need a full grid just for this header.
Just like that. Go like that, and then go like this, and then go like that, and then go like this. There we go. I need to get better at like commentating as I code.
Okay, so
What do you
interesting
think?
idea. This is a lot of work. A lot of work for it.
Okay.
What if we kept the H1 outside of form?
Outside.
So what's the problem
Great.
here?
Okay, let me see. Oh, heck. Where's my window? Okay, let me see it. Let me see. So, I mean, it's all the way off to the left. I mean, and I'm pretty sure it's nudging our entire form to the right.
Possibly yes, but it's doing that because our section is display flex.
Ooh. Okay.
Change section to have a flex direction.
Um. There. Ooh. Not exactly,
Well, I
but
mean, it's kind of working, and now we want to center everything.
I thought that justify center was the justify content center.
And I think,
You know what? What if we did this? Or something like that. Space around or space between. I think they both. Oh no, I'm not. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't think that's exactly what you want, but it's
Is it space around? Let's try this one. Nope. Okay. Back to the docs.
well. So if the justify content column wasn't there, then space around really sort of like helps it. It flipped Vliomio. That's tough to pronounce.
Flomio.
And so we can sort of like play with this a little bit to sort of like see where we want things.
Okay, hang on. So like, if we, where am I even trying to? Main axis, flex direction is row for that. Flex direction row. Okay, blah 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 blah. Flex direction column. Okay. Nope. Let me find more docs. Align. They're saying use align.
Right. So there's justify and there's align.
Okay.
And it's not justify content, or it's not align content. Use align items.
Items, right. I remember this being weird semantically.
And it's not space
Like,
around.
what exactly? Okay. Try center.
This is center.
Okay, that took quite a while. I should have just gone to the CSS tricks website from the beginning. There we go. I mean,
yes. Okay, and now you can use a little bit of margin.
Yeah, on that
with
login.
the H1.
Yeah, definitely. That was like first thing, looking very very awkward with that clipping. You know what? I'm just gonna put some margin on like everything. That should fix it, right? That's pretty good. I mean,
so one thing I've noticed that you're using pixels a lot. A best pattern, a best practice is to choose like M's or pixels and stick with them.
Okay. You know, actually I used to use all percentages.
I mean, for a while that was how everybody did it.
Man, I mean, like, on one hand, I love the web, but on the other hand, it's like I wish there were more. Like, I wish it forced you to do it one way sometimes. I wish I couldn't have done it all percentages because, I mean, I guess it worked out, but under the hood, I don't even know what kind of havoc I was wreaking on everything. But
well, I mean, if you want to talk about the foot guns that web development has included with it, there are quite a few. And using percentages everywhere is nothing compared to what we had to do way back in the dark ages of styling websites when we used, floats or tables.
Tables sounds like a fun time, man.
No, it wasn't. Non Solovita. Hello, good morning. Am I on Ubuntu? Yes, I'm on the latest version of Ubuntu. Okay, so yes, using the M's I think is a best practice here.
Gotcha.
Just
what
to be
about
consistent.
The button width?
So what about it?
So like, should we keep that as a pixel, or should we make sure that's an M as well?
So here's the reason why it can be a little bit dangerous using pixels. What if our font changes?
Yeah. Okay.
And M is going to be based upon the size of the text of the font.
Okay. So if we have 5 characters, then we want 5M, kind of? Is that the kind of logic it is? I mean, it looks nice. I like the way that looks.
Here's the real question. Why do we need to set the width?
I thought it would take up the entire grid column if we don't. Let's try getting rid of it then. I mean, okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. We just need to make sure the padding is everywhere.
Good morning, CJ Crew. Have we tried building projects with Rem? We have. I usually use Rem, and we were talking about it earlier. A Rem. So do you remember?
I still don't really understand it. So relative.
Yes, relative. So it's relative to the text that's in this component, like in the element that you're in.
The parent.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, let's just use rem for that one then. Obviously, we want a rem of padding, right? Instead of an m of padding. Because, well, I mean, what exactly is the font size of this parent? Is that going back to the reset, the CSS reset?
By default, it inherits.
Okay.
So it's just inheriting all the way up. But what's really nice here is that if somebody comes along and they override and they say, hey, browser, I have, let's say, for example, it's someone who has dyslexia. And so they tell the browser, you know what? I want to use Open Dyslexic as the font every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we want to make sure that we're not using pixels. We want to be based upon their font.
Okay. Yeah.
And CJ Crew, I thought
Yeah, I
that
know.
too.
Did you just? Yeah, you read that too.
Katali was suggesting that it's relative M, but now I have to look it up. So MDM rem.
Rem. Let's see. Understanding.
Oh,
rem.
it is root M. Okay. So
Ah.
we were led a little bit astray. It is based upon the root.
What the heck? I'm joking.
Font size.
This is like the fifth time Katali.
Hey, I think Katali's like
I'm just messing with
7
you.
for 9 today.
Yeah, probably
All right.
better than me right now, kids.
So
anyways,
the rem is going to be based upon like the root level.
The root level. Okay.
The root size. And it won't change if we change the font of any like children. It's going to go all the way based to like the base fonts that we set in that reset file.
Okay. So my question, like my understanding of it was, before you just told me that, what I would have expected is that if we say the padding on login is 1M, then it's going to use the font size of the parent. And use that as an M, like use that measurement. And I thought rem was relative M, and I thought it was going to use the actual buttons font as the size for the padding.
And it seems like it's the opposite of that. So the M is going to use itself itself. And itself is currently set to inherit.
So which one do we want?
We can control it a little bit better with rem.
Okay. We'll stick with rem then. It's like the suggestion of the day is to use rem instead of M.
Basically, it's like in the modern web apps, using rem everywhere is kind of the standard, except when you are changing the font in that element and you want your spacing to change with that specific font.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's go for rem then. If it makes us cool, then we're cool. No, I'm joking. But yeah, everything's a rem now. So sweet.
So we have here it's 9:15. It's a little bit after our normal sort of end time, but let's recap. What did we do today?
So mainly we styled. I don't think we did anything back end. I'm pretty sure all we did was style. We styled the home and we styled the login.
Well, we created these components too.
Oh yeah, we created the header.
we created the header and we created this login component.
Yes. Gosh, how did I miss that? Okay, yeah.
Something to keep in mind for next time. If we take a look at, like, are these the form elements that we actually want to have? And the easiest way to verify that, I'm going to move you over to the left, is to look in our migrations file for our users.
Right.
Are we going to have them log in using a username? Or
it's an email, right?
Yeah, the email. So right now we have the name and the email has to be unique, but the name potentially can have spaces in it, maybe.
Okay. So, I mean, we made this, or I guess this is just a feature of HTML, but I mean, it's pretty easy to change that.
It is very easy for it to change, but I guess when we're creating these forms, we can look into what the shape of the database is going to be to figure out what exactly these forms need to be.
Right.
And so for
You know,
login,
at the beginning, I was actually going off of the Blade PHP.
Yes,
To see how they did it.
right. And so like blindly copying it is not necessarily going to be the what we want to do. Is we still need to think.
Yes, I agree.
CJ Crew, thank you very much. Yeah, this is I also like this shirt. It's a fun shirt. I think this is one where I have stuff on the back too, but I don't remember.
Oh, NASA, sick.
You didn't
We're
even
getting
notice.
blown up over here. Like, I'm in Houston or near Houston, and like everything on the news is all about the NASA space program. Like right now, I don't know if it's that everywhere, but I thought it was like a Houston thing. We're just like celebrating the fact that Houston, with the space program.
Or like it's been 50 years.
Yeah, it was 50 years.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're like celebrating even harder than the rest of the country because
well, you do have headquarters. Or not headquarters. You do have launch control.
I don't even know. Is it launch control? I don't really know what it is exactly.
Yes, you have launch control, and you have the oh man, I forget what the specific term for the rooms are, but they're you have the control center. You have the control centers for the space station and the shuttles.
We have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so it's 9:19. I don't necessarily want to keep you too long, but we have a bunch of viewers here today.
Yeah, what the heck?
So does anybody have any questions about what we did, what we're doing? We are, if you missed like the beginning part of it, I am going to archive this video up to YouTube, and so I'll be tweeting that out when it goes onto YouTube. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that. But until then, we can do a few questions.
Awesome. I'm just waiting for questions to pop up. If anybody wants to join my stream, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it. Hope you don't mind.
Well, that's also going to be the link that Kael.
yeah.
His video is auto archived there because he's streaming on YouTube. Vlomio, are you guys going to build a whole app? Yes, this is going to go on until we have the entire app built, or Kael goes off to college and doesn't have time to continue.
I hope that we finish it before then, but I've only got to like August 24th. So either we pick up the pace or I find some way to continue.
Yeah,
we might have to change the time, but
we'll probably like have to change the format once Kael goes to school. Swiss Rabbit asks, what are my thoughts, or what are our thoughts on CSS frameworks like Bootstrap? Do you have thoughts first, Kael?
I do. I didn't think I would because I'm just like a baby in the web world right now. But like, I used to use Bootstrap, but I always found it just so much more difficult. And then I would just do it in CSS, and I'd be like, "That's what I wanted the entire time. Why did this take so long?" I would end up finding myself just overriding everything in Bootstrap and just styling it all myself. And so that's why I haven't used Bootstrap ever since I got bogged down every single time.
So I'll give you my my perspective of this, which is coming from somebody who's worked in the field, in the trenches, as it were. The using a tool like Bootstrap gives you for free browser compatibility all the way back to like ancient browsers like IE8.
Wow.
possibly even IE6, depending upon which version of Bootstrap you choose. And it is extremely easy to override and have like a customized style sheet to make Bootstrap look like your own thing. So I think the benefits that you gain of browser compatibility overweigh the customize of build it all yourself. Um,
Hmm.
so my suggestion, if you're going to build this for a like an actual real application, um, is use something like Bootstrap, but create a wrapper component around it so that you're calling your own components and it's calling Bootstrap. So that way you can switch out and use other uh, CSS frameworks if necessary down the line.
I really do like the way we're doing it right now, where it's like we style each component on their own. Um, Honestly, whenever I tried to reuse code in CSS, it never really turned out how I exactly planned. It was all down to like the specific context uh, of each style.
Hmm.
Um,
That is practice. Like if you really practice with CSS and components, you can get to where it you don't put any context sensitive styles in it.
mhm. Okay.
Uh, Vlomi is surprised that we're using PHP. People like to hate on it. Absolutely, PHP is an easy to hate language because, well, let's be honest, its history has been pretty spotted. My first experience with PHP was PHP version 4, and I was building a web application, basically a simple form, and I absolutely could not stand that I was mixing JavaScript, HTML, and PHP together on the back end in order to like do this front end rendering. Um, Now we're on PHP 7.2, and it is significantly faster than it was before. In fact, Facebook is rumor is Facebook is switching back to using PHP natively instead of using their compiler, their
Huh.
transpiler, because it's is faster than the C++ that they're converting the PHP into again.
Whoa.
Um, and it has all these new crazy cool features like lambda functions. So you can do modern PHP, and it's really great. And Laravel is really what makes PHP worthwhile here. If we were having to like do everything from scratch, then I would not choose PHP at all. Of course, the real secret reason that I'm using PHP and why I suggested it for Kael is because I'm learning it too. My work, I just got a new job about a month ago, and my work is on a PHP, Laravel, and Vue.js stack. So I'm using this to sort of catch my way up with that too.
Yeah, I'm really I like PHP. I do. I never really disliked it, to be honest, because the only time I used it is when I was a super noob. Like I was really newbie and I didn't know any better. I thought it was the only honestly, I thought it was the only language you'd use to build a web app. It was the only thing I knew. But yeah, it wasn't all that bad to me, but maybe that was just because I was really bad.
Katali asks, "How's it going in my job?" So far, it's been going really well. I took the team out for an offsite. So if none of you have been on an offsite before, it's basically a culture building time for a team where we left the actual physical workplace. We went to a restaurant. We had breakfast together, and we created team norms. We figured out what exactly we want to do culture wise and how we're going to go about doing that. And we also created a word, which, if for those of you who are working at jobs, I highly suggest that every company, every team have their own special, I call it an interrupt word. And basically, you use it in order to remind people that they're interrupting somebody else, that they're off topic, and you can bring them all back topic. The funnier the word is, the better, because then everybody can laugh, you reset, and you're good going again. Viomio, Kael is pretty good game dev, it seems.
Wow, I'm glad you think so. I would not call it myself, but I mean, I do like P5, I do like JavaScript, and I tried. It took me a few hours to get some of the games that probably shouldn't have taken me a few hours, but game dev isn't my forte, but it was a fun thing to do over the summer.
I personally believe that developing games just to practice is one of the best ways to level up skills, because you're required to that's where you're going to use and learn data structures and algorithms. It's very rare to have to like use them in normal CRUD applications like this.
Right. Yeah. I know. I mean, maybe that's the reason I don't like it as much is because I don't really know too well like all the different types of, like you said, algorithms, I guess, and stuff like that.
All right. Well, it's coming up on 9:30, so it's about half an hour after we claimed that we were going to stop. So I think I'm going to wind it down. So we could do our outros here. Kael, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter and you can find me on YouTube. I posted my link in the chat earlier. Maybe I'll just do it again. Whatever. Okay, there we go.
If you want to put your link to Twitter too, that would be good.
Twitter. I'm just gonna type that out then. Twitter.com. I think that's it. There we go. That should be it.
I mean, if that's not it, that I can't help you. You can find me obviously here on Twitch. If you're watching this as a VOD on YouTube, you can find me there on YouTube. I have links down below, both in the description of the VOD, but also if you're watching live, in my channel description, I have links to YouTube, to my Twitter, and I think to GitHub, to all the places that we really care about. If you want to get notified when we're going live, please follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, or on Twitter, all the places. We're doing this pair programming stream every Sunday starting at 7 a.m. Mountain Time for 2 hours, which I think is 8 a.m. your time, right, Kael?
8 a.m. Central. Yep. Standard. Yeah. Central Standard. However you call it.
And Katali, it was great to see you too. And also, don't worry about your mistakes. We have a culture of error here. Worries, we actually know that mistakes are the way that we become right. So it was actually great.
Keep it up. Yeah, I love the suggestions. I do. I really do. I mean, like it's like a breath of fresh air when somebody in the chat suggests something, because I'm like, if we're both caught up in it and we don't know where to go from there, it's awesome just to have something to try next. You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna put up this code onto GitHub, and then I'm gonna share the GitHub link, and then we'll be done for the day. I do have more streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the morning. I stream at 6:45 a.m. Mountain Time for about an hour and a half. I am currently building learning to build a deep learning algorithm so that I can give that during a live stream at the Develop Denver conference, which is coming up in just a few weeks. So you can catch me tomorrow morning if that's your cup of tea.
Wait, what are you using for that?
What am I using for it?
Yeah.
JavaScript. I'm writing it from scratch.
Ooh, straight from scratch? No like TensorFlow or anything?
No TensorFlow.
Wow. Cool.
I know, it'll be good. Okay, so we created the top nav and login form. So, And also stage all these commits, send that on up, and push.
Awesome.
And this is located at here. We do need to take care of that Lodash vulnerability sometime.
Oh yeah, npm or is it npm or it's probably GitHub warning us, right?
It's GitHub.
Yeah.
All right. With that being done, I'm going to go switch over to our ending screen. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope that you all have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.